Good morning. We'll begin in about a minute. So this is a perfect time to silence that electronic yoke which lives with you day and night, but has no voice here today. Good morning. My name is John Haas, and one of the practitioners here at Center for Spiritual Living, Prescott. And I welcome you here in the sanctuary, as well as those of you that are joining us at some other space and time. In case you haven't noticed, the moon in between waning and waxing the other morning, it made a happy face with Saturn and Venus about 5:12 our time. As the crescent sat close to the horizon, heralding a new day. And the backyard says, all is well. The daffodils with their yellow faces, the dark, majestic purple irises, speaking out in their own voice, yelling, beauty, beauty. John Cleese said, creativity is not a talent, it is a way of thinking. And so as we look at the time when the days longer, we approach May Day or Beltane, halfway between the vernal equinox and the winter-summer solstice, we know because the sun is coming up earlier, it's setting later, and we can feel spring awakening everywhere. Just as spring awakens, we can awaken. Because our stories fall away in the morning, your stories fall away in the morning. When you first wake, when it's still quiet in the house, the truth of all your ways are rediscovered as the sun rises. Looking out, the trees don't pretend to sway in the breeze. The sky doesn't try to look mystical. And the birds sing for the sheer joy of their voice. Your creative opportunity also reappears at dawn. And in the morning, in that undefined line between the depths of night and the substance of daily activity, it's a perfect time to stand on the threshold of your own self. Straddle the two worlds and let usual story fall away. Anything is possible. You can write a new chapter, create a whole new book. It's yours to do, your life to grab. And like the irises and the daffodils, creating beauty, creating joy, this is our birthright. So since the springtime invites us to awaken and create, we can affirm our own creativity in so many forms. And the most dazzling of all is just to be yourself. That authentic self that is living and breathing and knowing its place. So this morning in the meditation, imagine all the creative things ahead of you. What are you creating with your one wild and precious life? Because remember, creativity is not a talent. It's a way of thinking. So I know, and you can affirm with me, I am creative. I am creative. I am creative. I am creative. creative. I revel in my creativity. It is a gift. For the rest of the day, for the weeks and months ahead, notice the creation of the world all around. The spark of creativity in the green growing grass. The sparkle in someone else's smile. Celebrate the earth. This spaceship on which we live and breathe and have our being. What a creation. Namaste.
What a great meditation by John Haas today. And I say that because it was sitting on my mind as I sat down, and CSL Prescott gives me a microphone. I think sometimes they might be like, we need to think about the mute button. But today I just sat down and thought, man, and I guess part of it's a plug that if you haven't been to the pre-service meditation, it's 15 minutes from 10 to 10:15, and week in and week out, I really enjoy them, and today was no exception. So if you have not experienced the 10 to 10:15 meditation, you just show up for the 10:30 service. I'm just giving you a little plug that on one of these Sundays, come down early and check it out, because it makes you like this, where you're talking to a room full of people about how great it is. I'm Jackson Roush, and I'm playing music today, which is, man, am I lucky to be doing that. I'm lucky to be hanging out with Bob. He will be signing today, and I'm going to be testing him on his abilities today, for sure. And in the control tower, as always, we have Clay. And if you like this first song we're about to do, we're going back to the days of yesteryear, everybody. You can thank Clay later, because Clay is the one who talks me into doing all these songs. I just want to stay, a lot of times I just want to stay in the comfort zone, but Clay's like, no, just do this. And I've learned that saying yes to Clay is usually a good idea. So. Oh, Bob, will you boss them around? Thank you. Oh, and I forgot. 2 more quick things. We are so lucky to have Gail Steiger here playing as our soloist today. And I've told you many times, he is the only soloist that I've called to come perform. And he says, I would love to, but I have to count cows that day. He's the only soloist who's ever said that. And we have Sabrina giving the talk today, which is going to be amazing. This is a Youngblood song. Perhaps you know it. With me. Love is but a song we sing, feels the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, some may come and some may go, but we will surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last. We are but a moment's sunlight, fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Mochi, mochi.
Wow. Jackson, you know I love that song.
I do. I do.
I love that. And I am not musically oriented, so I can play it 10 times, and it's like it's brand new. So good morning. I'm Sabrina Johnson, and I'm here to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living Prescott. We're part of a worldwide organization of spiritual centers whose mission and purpose is to provide spiritual tools for personal and global transformation and to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Part of the tools for this transformation is affirmative prayer, or what we call treatment. And we invite you to stay after service and pray with a licensed practitioner who has been trained to know only the highest consciousness of good for you. I say good is God with an extra G, an extra O. Oh, someone here. Woohoo! Okay. I always kind of feel like I got caught stealing cookies in the cookie jar when I do that. Anyways, okay. So after service, there will be people up front, a few practitioners up front, and they will be ready to give you what we call a 3-minute miracle. And they will pray with you. And I'm one practitioner, and so is John Haas. And we have others, and they will be up here. Hazel's here, and they will be up here to pray with you and know the truth for you. And then also outside the foyer doors, you'll see you can fill out a prayer card and you can post it to the wall, or if you'd rather not, in the lobby we have a prayer box with prayer request forms that you can put in the prayer box, and our practitioners will pray over your request, knowing the highest good during the week. So talking about prayer, I turn the service over to practitioner John Haas, who will provide our prayer support today.
Good morning. Let's take a breath together. And remember and recognize that there's only one power, one presence, one perfect whole that guides us, breathes us, divinely shows us the way. And that good, that God, that good is right here, right now. It's in our seats. It's in the way we smile at each other. And I know that since it's all around and all through, it is right here, right now. And what I know is this service is unfolding in perfection, wholeness, and completion. And just exactly the words and message that you came here to receive, you shall receive. For we know that the growth of spring, the creativity of spring, brings us here for this celebration, for this time together, for this day. And I am ever so grateful for this teaching and this knowing. And so I allow these words to be worked upon by the action of love and law, knowing it cannot come back to me void. It is done. And together we can affirm it by saying, and so it is.
Yesterday, we had the celebration of life for our beloved Gina. And I told this story yesterday, really short story, that the first thing I did with Gina outside of just being here was she really wanted to learn this song. She didn't really play piano, but she was determined at age 80, whatever she was, that she wanted to play this song. So we're going to sing this for all of us, but we're going to sing it for Gina too. God is, I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, and I am right here, right now. God here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am.
Right here, right now. Because now is the only time there is, if you're familiar with the work of Eckhart Tolle. And today I want to do something special and invite you to be right here, right now. And when you go home, walk to the mirror with me. And walk and look at the one person who can be with you forever. Have you forgotten the smile of your own approval? Been off chasing wealth? Walk with me to the mirror and forgive the lost time alone. Let's take that into a few minutes of silence. Right here, right now. Could I get the candle lighters to come? The Center for Spiritual Living Prescott, guided by the science of mind, acknowledges the diverse faiths and spiritual traditions that enrich our world. Each belief system offers a distinct understanding of the mysteries of existence and a unique connection with the divine. Lighting these candles symbolizes our collective reverence for the diverse paths humans take in search of meaning and purpose. In this shared moment, we affirm and celebrate the multiplicity of the human experience. We light a candle for Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. For Islam and its teaching and belief in the one and only God, creator of the heaven and the earth. For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties which began with the covenant between Abraham and God. For Buddhism, the middle path of non-attachment that ends suffering. For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. For the traditions of indigenous people everywhere and their close and sacred connections to the earth, the sky, and her waters. For Baha'i, the path of unity and peace. For the goddess traditions, celebrating the power and wisdom of the feminine energies, including nature and nurture. And for the science of mind, a philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. So together, we'll say our affirmation. I am here for God. My purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything I do. The good I seek for myself is what I desire for all people everywhere. And so it is.
And so it is. Spring is my favorite time of the year. All this new life just grows up out of the ground, and all this other life comes and benefits from that. And if you're ranching like I am, that's when all these little baby calves show up. They're just everywhere, and it's like a miracle. And one of my favorite authors is a poet, essayist, and farmer from Kentucky named Wendell Berry. Can't recommend his work enough. Here's a poem that he wrote called Her First Calf, about a young heifer. Her fate seizes her and brings her down. She is heavy with it. It wrings her. The great weight is heaved out of her. It eases. She moves into what she has become, as sure in her fate now as a fish free in the current. She turns to the calf who is broken out of the womb's water and its veil. He breathes. She licks his wet hair. He gathers his legs beneath himself and rises. His knees wobble. After the months of his pursuit of her, they meet face to face. From the beginnings of the world, his arrival and her welcome have been prepared. They have always known each other.
Gail, thank you so much. I love Wendell Berry, and I love what you just shared with us. So, years ago, I was a rather avid hiker. Well, avid for me. And I could never have imagined doing it, and yet I did with friends. So when I wanted to go on a hike, I would ask a friend to take, if they want to join me. And sometimes I felt like a dog being asked to go for a walk. Can you take me for a walk? But I didn't feel safe hiking the canyons of the Los Angeles area alone. for a long list of reasons, including my not so great balance and fear of heights and fear of snakes and creepy crawlies and all that. And yet we did hike, and we did it together and with me and my friends. So one morning, my friend and I decided that we would be a little bit adventurous and try a hiking trail that we had never walked before. But we had seen many other happy hikers coming down off this path, so we thought we would try it ourselves. It started out relatively flat and even, which was good for me. And then it gradually inclined, and it was still without too many ditches or uneven rocky spots to navigate. And then at one point, it made a rather narrow U-turn on a steeper incline. So my friend, who had a better sense of balance than I did, but was still challenged by it, went bravely ahead and led the way. When she saw that the path before us was yet another steeper incline with an even narrower path that turned on itself into a zag, she asked me if we should continue. We both decided that we were up for it, and so onward and upward we went together, holding one another's hands for safety. And doing so, we had the assurance that we could actually do this. So when we reached the end of that zag and saw that there was another zig going up, my friend said, "Sabrina, we're on a switchback trail." Up until then, I didn't know what a switchback was. But here we were, there we were. And she said, "And look how beautiful the view is." I gripped her hand more tightly and continued to look down at the narrow path. And I answered firmly, "No, thank you, I'd rather not. Let's just keep moving." So when we got to the top, we could see that the descent down wasn't so zigzaggy, and with that we breathed a sigh of relief and continued. When we reached the end of that trail and finished the hike, we hugged each other so tight and laughed with delight that we had just accomplished something that we never believed we could have. So when I thought of this a few months ago, I did what I do, and that is I wrote this down in my notebook where I keep potential topics for sermons. Oh, wait, just a moment. Sunday talks. I'm a little bit old-fashioned. So then a few weeks ago, I was having a conversation with someone about his love of hiking. He really loved to hike. And we started to talk about switchbacks. And when I mentioned I might do a talk about this, he started to tell me in detail about how switchbacks were first originated with railroads, and then how the engineering of it worked. And I didn't understand much of it, but I got the gist of it, and that railway cars would not be able to ascend the high terrain if they didn't have the mechanics to help one another make their way up the zigzag. So in preparation for this talk, I went to my best friend Google and found this description of a switchback on wikipedia.com. A railway zigzag or switchback is a railway operation in which a train is required to switch its direction of travel in order to continue its journey. While this may be required purely from an operational standpoint, it's also ideal for climbing steep gradient. And I also found this from a synopsized AI overview of switchbacks. But where you see switchbacks most often is in mining or logging roads that need to climb steep hillsides. A series of linked switchbacks that climb a grade stepwise can surmount a hill that would be otherwise too steep for a direct approach. Looking at a switchback from an engineering point of view, A switchback is not a U-turn or a detour. It's a way to make an upward climb that otherwise could not be made by going directly on up a steep hill or mountain. From a metaphysical point of view, a switchback is how we navigate life. Ralph Waldo Emerson, whose writings greatly influenced Ernest Holmes, is often quoted as saying, "The voyage of the best ship is a zigzag line of 100 tacks." So whether it be on land or on water, zigzagging works quite well in getting from one place to another, especially when the journey might otherwise be arduous and challenging. Yet I have to say that the switchback hike that my friend and I did wasn't easy. It was hard and exhausting, with moments of life-threatening fear of falling off the steep cliff. But we did together what we could not have done alone. We didn't know when the straight path before us would zig or zag. We didn't know where the trail would take us, but we knew we were making our ascent upward. One thing my former minister, Dr. Mark Vieira, would tell us many times in his talks is that we never know what another person's path is, and it's not for us to know. Our individual paths that we journey consists of how we experience and navigate life. There have been many times in my path when I didn't know what my own path was. But today, I know my path is one of rising higher. It is one of ascent. Dictionary.com defines ascent as a movement or return toward a source or beginning. That is how I see the path that I'm on, one of returning to source. That's with a capital S, source. The source of all life, that being what I call God, which is the beginning of timeless beginning and the ending of eternal end. And this is a return home, for my home is in the heart and mind of God. And so I ascend higher, toward higher consciousness, higher awareness, higher mindfulness, higher compassionate love, higher goodness, which is a power that knows no opposite. But I can't do this ascent alone. I have to have others help me as I help them. So going back to trains and how they use switchbacks to make their ascent, as I mentioned earlier, the rail cars wouldn't be able to do this if they didn't help one another. But actually, it isn't just one train helping another traverse the switchback climb up. It's a locomotive that helps. And even though the locomotive is part of the entire vehicle system that's called a train, the locomotive is in fact the power unit that pulls or pushes a train. So if a train didn't have a locomotive, it wouldn't have the power to push or pull the trains upward and forward. I know as I journey on up my path that just like a train, I need a locomotive, a powerhouse to power me on forward and upward. Otherwise, I'd just be huffing and puffing, going nowhere except most likely frustration and defeatism. My powerhouse locomotive is God, or rather my relationship with God, knowing that God is the source of all my supply. Just as a whole train consists of rail cars and a locomotive located at the front and back of the rail cars, I too am one of these rail cars that is situated between a front and rear locomotive that powers me. This is how I view my relationship with God, that I am one with and of God and all that God is, just as a train is one with and of all the other trains in front of it and behind it, as well as with the locomotive that powers them. And that this, as a whole, consists of what we know as a train. The whole train of my life is God that powers the locomotive engine at the front, leading an infinite, eternal line of connected railway cars. That's being you, me, and all of life. And this same locomotive engine is in the back, powering us all on upward. Now, what's interesting is that locomotives not only push and pull a train upward and forward, they're also needed to power a train to reverse and change direction while negotiating a switchback. Just think about this. We each have our own relationship to this powerhouse within us and about us, which propels us through our life's journey. This powerhouse that I call God, but you may call universe or spirit or any other name. But no matter what name you call it, it's the one source of all life, all power, all energy. And it's what moves us upward, onward, and yes, sometimes backward. Sometimes our path is that of a switchback, where we must go backwards in reverse in order to make an upward, forward ascent. But again, this isn't a U-turn that takes us back to where we started on our path. And it's not a detour that takes us away from our path. It's part of our own personal path of ever-continual evolution of spiritual maturity and growth. It's this understanding that we can navigate the zigs and zags of our life with grace and gratitude, knowing that even if we don't know exactly where the switchback is taking us, we trust it's to a destination that is towards the ascent of heading to our true home, of living as one with God, as a perfect individualization of God. But in order to have this understanding and apply it to navigating the zigs and zags of our lives so that they don't throw us off balance, so that we can proceed on our path with the poised equanimity and confidence of spirit, we must attend to our spiritual housekeeping. That is our daily practice, a prayer, or what we call treatment or affirmative prayer, meditation, and contemplation, such as journaling, as well as engaging with others in sacred service and communion, meaning community, such as right here at Center for Spiritual Living Prescott, a beautiful community, and also the community at large. I've had a lot of switchbacks in my life, and some I face with fear and trepidation, and others with a greater degree of trust. And as I continue on my path, I discover that I'm not only becoming more confident of knowing that I can safely navigate any switchback that I may encounter, but at times I may actually stop and pause and take in the view. This is because I know that I'm not alone. I not only have God as my powerhouse within me, as me, and about me, but many times I also have dear friends that not only accompany me, but sometimes even lead the way while holding my hand. One recent switchback was last May when I was on a girls' trip in Palm Springs. On our last day, one of my friends invited us to accompany her on a visit to see a friend of hers who lived in Rancho Mirage. The woman lived in a home full of museum-quality artwork, and her own artwork as well. And she wanted to show us her collection. But I got tired of standing. And so I excused myself and went to go sit down in the living room And on my way to a chair, I tripped over an area rug, and I felt pain that I had never felt before. I had broken my femur, the largest bone in our bodies. It's also one of the strongest bones, but mine had been compromised due to a number of factors, including complications from a hip replacement 4 years ago that had weakened my femur. I'm still recovering from this injury, yet I know that this backward reversal of my journey is part of a switchback that is helping me rise on up higher and higher into higher goodness. There are many reasons I know this, but one reason is that because this reversal has prompted me into a new relationship with my body temple. When I started physical therapy, I looked at it as just a means to an end to be able to walk without a walker or a cane. But now, a year later, I look forward to my time at the gym or in the pool, finding new ways to move my body so as to build strength, flexibility, balance, and stamina. I also started taking Pilates, which my instructor so eloquently tells me is having a conversation with my body. The other day, a new physical therapist asked me about my history. I told her, well, let's just say up until I started coming to PT, I didn't move my body much at all. And I didn't like moving it, even moving to get some ice cream. Although we laughed, I was serious. Just as I'm serious when I say that I'm grateful for this switchback. It made, and it continues to make my life all the better, all the higher good, gooder and gooder. I told this to the newbie physical therapist that one of the reasons I'm so motivated to do my PT workouts is because of her coworkers. Not only are all the therapists extremely patient and encouraging, but they're also kind and compassionate. They know that when they push me to do more than I've done before, that I most likely will want to take a rest and sit down with a long drink of water. And so they'll pull up a chair and offer me a towel and water. I mean, who wouldn't want to go every day to hear your praises of how great you're doing and then being treated so graciously while sweating buckets? While I was having this conversation with the newbie, the physical therapist who's in charge of my treatment came over to join us. He told her how he remembered me almost a year ago, that first day of his initial evaluation, and how much progress I've made. I said, yeah, and just like I told her, if it weren't for you, for all of you giving me so much encouragement, I wouldn't be here now looking forward to working out and moving my body. I paused for a moment, and then I looked at both of them and said, you know what it really is? What you're really doing for me and everyone here is the aim of my ministry. That is, everyone I interact with, to know that I see them, I hear them, and I understand them, that they're cared for, that they're loved, that they are significant. It was almost closing time for the gym, so the music that is usually played throughout the day was turned off, which made the silence all the more thundering, to use Joel Goldsmith's word. Then I heard, so you can, if you don't mind, repeat that again, that everyone is seen, heard, and I repeated it. That everyone feels seen, heard, and understood, to know that they are loved and cared for, and that they are significant. And I said, if this feels a little bit hokey, I understand. When I facilitate groups, I like to ask the group that after someone shares, to say this together out loud to the person who just shared. Many times I get a response of a hushed, And then a rather half-hearted, I see you, I hear you. We laughed at how this can all feel a bit goofy, all at the same time acknowledging its value. As I walked out the door to the parking lot, I thought of how the switchback of falling and breaking my femur opened up a whole new world for me. Not just the fact that I now enjoy physical exercise, but I also enjoy seeing friends at the gym every day who greet me with a high five and call me rock star. But I want to make this clear. This isn't taking life's lemons and making lemonade. There's no added sugar to make this more palpable. It's taking lemons and slicing them open and going back into the flesh and gutting the seed, which is the source of that fruit, and then going back to what nurtured that seed into bloom, and planting the seed back into the soil and going from this source, going back to the source. And with this, it goes on upward into new growth. It's a backward reversal that reignites, recharges, re-energizes the train of life so that it can ascend on up higher. We're all in various stages as we journey along our individual paths in our own boxcars as part of and one with the infinite eternal train of all life, powered by the one omni locomotive that is omnipresent, always present, omnipotent, all powerfully good, omniscient, all lovingly wise. As we do so, we can know that we're all rising on up the ascent together. And switching the switchback metaphor here from trains to hiking, we can make this climb upward while holding one another's hand. Or to put it another way, we're all just walking one another home, as Ron Dass shared so simply. Thank you. I think I just lost something. Thank you, Hazel. And with that, we'll just know in prayer that whatever switchback we encounter, we recognize it is all God, and so it is all good. And we recognize in this allness of fullness of God that we are always one with and of God and one with and of each other. And so we're ever so grateful for this journey together, ever so grateful for this beautiful, beautiful community right here, right now, that helps us journey on together, holding each other's hand as we all make our way up the ascent back home together in the mind and heart of God. And so I'm ever so grateful for this most glorious life, divine. I am ever so grateful for this most glorious day, and I am ever so grateful for each and every one of you that make it so. And so it is. Amen.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us.
So John Haas has graciously agreed to give the blessing over the offering, which is the time right now for the offering. So he is going to be moving physically from the highest consciousness of holding high watch to the highest consciousness of giving the offering. So John, thank you. One day when I get this right, then I'll move on. That's what someone told me when I was serving a job. She said, when you get it right, then you get a new job. Okay, so divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, life.
Okay. I'm going to play, this is a John Gorka song called Morningside. Am I a fool at this late date to heed a voice that says you can be great? I heard it young, now I hear it again. It says you can be better than you've ever been. Don't want to waste what I have to give and all of the time that I've left to live. Don't want to waste what I have to give and any other time I've got left. I can do more than I thought I could. Work brings more luck than knocking on wood. There's random bad and random good. Work brings more good luck. Good luck. You ask the world, and the world says no. That's the world's refrain. Mine says go. You ask the world, and the world says no. It's an old world refrain. Mine says go. Don't want to waste what I have to give and all of the time that I've left to live. Don't want to waste what I have to give and any other time I've got left. I can do more than I thought I could. Work brings more luck than knocking on wood. There's random bad and random good. Work brings more good luck. Good luck. Better be off. I got dreams to dream. Though it seems uphill and a little extreme. If I can find hope in this fading light, then I'll find you on the morning side. If I can find hope in this fading light, then I'll find you on the morning side. Don't want to waste what I have to give and all of the time that I've left to live. Don't want to waste what I have to give in any other time I've got left. I can do more than I thought I could. Work brings more luck than knocking on wood. There's random bad and random good. Work brings more good luck. Good luck. Good luck. John Gorka.
Perfect. And we know that the good that is created right here, that which we are receiving, is the law of circulation in action. And we know that it comes back as fellowship, creativity, and this center. And we are blessed, and it is a blessing. And so it is.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Gail, I just want to know, you must have the happiest cows if you sing to them and recite Wallace Berry poems. They have to be the happiest cows on the earth. I mean, you can't, I just think it's wonderful. Okay, so we do have announcements. We don't have beautiful Kathleen here in person, but we do have announcements. Yesterday, as Jackson mentioned, it was Gina Bonacci's service, her celebration of life. And we have these beautiful flowers here and here, and someone's going to put them out with the third vase. And what I do is I'm going to invite you to, first of all, before you leave, if you do want prayer, we have practitioners, including me, to pray. Secondly, go and eat some delicious meatballs and spaghetti. Nancy made them for Gina's celebration, and it's delicious. So, yay, Nancy is right. Nancy really outdid herself, and it's delicious. And go and have some fellowship and have some delicious food. And then when you leave, I invite you to take a flower or two in memory of beautiful Gina. She was really someone who was, I thought of it when John did this meditation on creativity, and divine idea was that, boy, if you ever want to meet someone who was a happy hiker with switchbacks and all, and really navigated them so graciously and beautiful, that was Gina. So please take one or two flowers. They will be put out there. Doing that.
The spaghetti was her favorite meal, by the way.
Oh, Nina, tell us.
Oh,
Spaghetti.
Gotcha.
Spaghetti. That's it, Nina? No more? Okay. Thank you, Nina. Nina helped to arrange this. She was one of Gina's many angels. And yes. And so was Sharon. And the two of them, she had many angels, but Sharon Tice and Nina Roche were really her beautiful angels. And so, and Nancy is now feeding us as we remember Gina, and we'll take flowers. And I am done. Jackson, please. Thank you.
Well, I do have one quick announcement to add, which is our beloved Sky Conwell. This is a reminder. Sky is one of those guys who just makes things happen musically in this town, kind of like Tom Agostino and Krista make things happen. And Sky just comes up with these ideas and then brings them into reality, which is, it's great to have people like that. He pitched this, he wrote me into this too. He had this idea, is like, why don't we bring all like the great rock musicians back from heaven and have them do one show here in Prescott? So he's organized this thing where in it's June 27th, which is a Friday, at Rue Street Theater. He is bringing back John Lennon, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin. I can't remember who else. Freddie, the guy from Queen, Freddie Mercury, right? And they're all coming down from heaven, or wherever they are, for one night and one night only, to reunite here on the earthly plane to put on a show. And that will be Friday, June 27th. That's from the creative mind of Sky Conwell. So.
And is Jackson part of this as well?
I got roped into it, yes.
Yes.
It's hard to say no.
Yes. So
It's hard to say no
I believe
to
that we
Sky
may have to
Conwell.
have a CSLP field trip.
I cannot neither confirm nor deny anything. But one thing I would like to know is if there's anyone here for the first time and would feel comfortable standing up and just saying your name and where you're from, because frankly, we love that when you do that. It warms our hearts. So if anyone is here for the first time and would like to just introduce themselves, and afterwards grab a used book out of the bookstore, I believe, gently pre-read, I think is what they call that.
Jackson is helping me on this switchback of not really knowing what I'm doing.
So Pat is starting a Tai Chi Chuck class. A what? Tai Chi Chuck. This is important. Thank you, Laura. It's this Tuesday at noon. A Tai Chi Chuck.
class, which means I've been doing that for 2 years online with a minister from CSL minister from California, because I have time to do that, because it's not 108 moves like Tai Chi, it's 19 moves and one pose. So it's you're standing, or if you're not able to stand, you can do it sitting. And Pat has taught at assisted living, so he can definitely do it when you're sitting as well. And it's about only an hour, like 12 to 1. That's it. Yeah. And Pat, you want to say anything else on that one? This is your instructions, by the way.
Please come. Please come.
Right. Yeah. Tuesday at noon. Right at noon sharp. He's renting the space, so it'd be great. It's a love offering. Yes, Richard. Yeah. Why not? Who's Kathleen?
Yeah, I'm going to be leaving this end of May, but May I'm going to be teaching the pyramid meditation by Master Zhang, who I went to China with in Tibet in 2012. Wow. He taught me this meditation. It's a very healing meditation. So that's what I'm using his video, him teaching it. So I'll be doing it half hour of going through the video and then practicing it out in the labyrinth for the last half hour when the sun's going down, so we get all that golden light coming into our bodies. So that's my plan for May, is to teach the pyramid meditation before I leave.
What day is that?
Wednesday evenings from 5:30 to sunset.
Are you leaving us permanently, or what's the main thing?
Well, I'm going to be gone for the summer.
Okay. Okay, so we'll look for you, and we'll say goodbye for now and hello when you come back. Okay. Okay, switch back.
And real quick, I got a little bird remind me that Tom Agostino's Pete Seeger, Woody Guthrie concert is going to be this Saturday here. So.
Yes, that's wonderful. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, everybody, for helping me. One day I will get this correct.
Let's do it. Stand up and grab a hand if you feel comfortable doing that. And we're going to say this benediction that's on the screen and then sing our way out of here with the peace song. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs.